That's a new season of newspaper randomness, or the newspaper lucky dip. So we need to steal Yvette's hat again for the new season. Meet Elfie. Elfie has come to join us. He's 6 months old at the moment. He's being swished by the mic. He seems to be alright. You doing okay? These are our two boys. This is Femi, who's 4 months old, and Elfie, who is 6 months old. He's a wee bit tired. He's had a long night of running around and fighting with his brother. They seem to have literally limitless energy, so you will maybe see a lot of them. I don't know. They are cats. They do cat things, and they're very independent, so I can't make them stay here. We'll see how long they stay for. Okay, let's get into some newspaper articles. We're not going to do the list of everything that can have appeared in the newspapers, all of the trigger warnings, because there are a lot. And we don't know what we're going to get. And the last season I spent a long time trying to account for all of them. I'm not doing that this season. If you want to know what's in the video, check the description below. I can't be held responsible if you decide to continue into this video, because I don't know what we're going to get. So have a wee look below. And if it's not for you, we'll see you in the next one. Alright? Let's get into some newspaper articles. It has been a while. Let's see what we have today. We have the Arbroath Guide for the 12th of June 1875. I don't even know if you can see that on the camera, but we'll find out what this gives us. Okay, so we have an odd marriage. The assertion that marriages are made in heaven has frequently been questioned, chiefly, we believe, on the ground of the number of ill-assorted unions. A story of a wedding which we light upon in one of the French papers this week is, from the point of view of either theory, decidedly an odd one. The mayor of the 12th arrondissement of Paris, having one day to confer with a family about the formalities of a pending marriage, made a singular discovery. He found out, beyond possibility of a question, that the bridegroom was the son of the old executor des hautes oeuvres, in other words, the executioner, so he thought it his duty to warn the mother of the young lady. "Oh, yes, Mr. Mayor," she replied, "we know that quite well. In fact, that is how we came to know him. One of the members of our family came into the hands of the father of my future son-in-law for execution, and received from him the most delicate attentions. Mr. Headsman was so good to him, you see, so humane, in short, that we have ever since had the deepest regard for him, and from that moment the relations between our two families sprung up which find expression in this marriage. It is not often that the kindness of an executioner is so thoroughly appreciated. By the way, the story suggests a very delicate question of etiquette. In the case of a man who is the son of a hangman marrying the daughter or niece of a man who was hanged, which of the two is to be considered as making the sacrifice? We suppose that the general verdict would give it to the lady, but we are not quite sure that such a verdict would be morally defensible. And that's from the Pictorial World, as relayed in the Arbroath Guide, 12th of June, 1875. I don't see why not. People come together in all kinds of different ways. And why not have someone who previously hanged or beheaded a previous ancestor as part of your family? It's just another funny story around the family dinner table at Christmas, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? Yeah. Shall we see what the next one gives us? We have the Ipswich Journal for the 28th of August 1736. And again, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see what this gives us. Okay, this is kind of cute. So last week, a very extraordinary wedding was celebrated at Mailsfield in Sussex, where the ages of the bride, bridegroom, and the horse they rode upon to be married amounted to 214 years. The man was 96, the woman 94, and the horse 24. As they did not care to be married where they were known, they set out secretly for a church at some distance from their habitation, and in their way thither the bridegroom fell off his horse, but by the help of a friendly gate made shift to mount again. As they were coming back, the bride had the misfortune to slip off the pillion behind, and the bridegroom's senses not being very perfect, he never missed her till he had jogged on some miles, and was at last forced to return, with some assistance, to bring her home. That was really cute, and that was from the Ipswich Journal for the 28th of August, 1736. I like that. And it just shows you see a lot of history and people talking about history, especially on YouTube now, and they're like, oh, back in the day, you're lucky if you made it to 40. And you still are lucky to make it to 40. But it shows these people were 96 and 94, and that was them just getting married and starting the remainder of their lives together. And that's really adorable. Should we have another one? Let's see what we've got. Oh, I always get scared because you get really nice ones, and they can be followed up by just the most tragic. Okay. The Dalkeith Advertiser for the 3rd of November 1869. If you can see that. Let's see what the Dalkeith Advertiser has for us. Okay, so this one is entitled A Sailor's Bride. The gallantry of Jack when ashore too often outweighs his judgment and lands him into difficulties. In London last Tuesday, a rather good-looking young woman was charged at the Thames Police Court with being drunk and disorderly and failing to pay a fine. Would have been sent to prison, but that a jolly tar stepped forward and said he was prepared to marry her with all her faults. The magistrate opposed no obstacle, the woman was willing, and married they were forthwith, but the ruling passion asserted itself even during the honeymoon. On Friday night the bride got drunk again, attempted to drown herself, and on Saturday was in the dock once more. Her faithful but too confiding Jack did not desert her in her trouble, and was willing to excuse her little weakness. Stepping into the witness box and touching his forelock, Jack said, "Beg your pardon, your honour, but you see my wife was just 3 sheets in the wind last night." What could the magistrate do in the face of such good nature? He admonished the woman and allowed the sailor to take her away. That's another interesting way to meet your husband, isn't it? Either he's just some random sailor that's just prepared to save you in your hour of need while you're absolute mock-it drunk one night out in the Randan. Or, maybe he killed one of your ancestors out of state duty, of course, or you could just be, getting on a wee bit and you find your love and then fall off some horses together as you go and get married. Yeah. So that's quite a nice wee roundup. I don't want to ruin it by picking out a 4th because I don't feel like we can continue in this vein. I feel like we'd be chancing our luck, and I'm not a gambler. So we'll maybe see you in the next one. Take care. behind, and the bridegroom's senses not being very perfect, he never missed her till he had jogged on some miles, and Aww. I'm going to read this one again. I think I can do it.